Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about the web service test automation, and the list of topics that I am going to cover today are microservice enterprise application architecture, the areas of testing in web services, tools and technologies which we used, and the challenges we faced and the solutions which we implemented, the delivery model and CI pipeline which we followed, and the project statistics of the recent project. This is high-level architecture of microservices enterprise application platform. Here, S1, S2, S3 are the services which are performing dedicated tasks like creation of the product, creation of attributes, and tagging of attributes with the product. These services are integrated with external services T1, T2, and T3, and also integrated with legacy EMS-based system. All these components are communicating via a single facade channel. In the web service test automation, we did the component level testing and integration testing with database and the external services and the contract testing with the EMS systems. These are the tools and technologies which we used. The test automation framework is developed in JBehav, it's a BDD automation framework. Okay. So now there are some major challenges which we face in web service test web service test automation. Our service regression SLA time was 1 hour, but when the test cases increased over the period of time, our service regression was taking around 4 hours. So we implemented a parallel execution in the framework so that in the single build we were running our test cases. We were running our test cases parallelly, and by which we optimize our build time from 235 minutes to 60 minutes. That is one fourth reduction we did, and we also implemented the JBR's structured mechanism so that we can achieve 100% success build results. And the third major challenge was testing of integration testing of services with the dependent services. Since the dependent services were not available to us for testing, as they were developed by a different team. So as a QA, I developed the mock services, both SOAP and REST type. These services are developed for the automation testing purpose, and they were behaving in same way as real services. The only difference is were deployed on HTTP server, lightweight server, and they were not having any database. The another challenge was to create the test artifact and the dev artifact in the same build. So for that we use the custom Maven structure. You can see in this diagram we have the standard Maven folders highlighted in green and the custom Maven folders highlighted in blue. So using this structure we maintained 4 different type of codes in single workspace, that is dev code, unit test code, function test code, and integration test code. And we were not doing any manual testing since we were doing the automation testing in parallel with the development in same iteration. And we have achieved this by leveraging the continuous integration pipeline. This is the delivery model which we followed in our recent project. The, the creation of stories were done by SA, and the story estimation and planning is done by the TL and product delivery manager. After that, the story is coming for the development. So first, QA was writing the feature file and getting it approved by the developer and the SC. And once the feature file approval is done, the application code development and the application code development uh, and automation script creation is done parallelly. And once both the codes are ready, they are pushed to the repository. So repository is connected with the CI pipeline. So it checks out the branch code, create the artifacts, and deploy it in dynamic environment. Then it runs the unit and integration tests, and then afterwards it runs the functional test. So when this build is successful, we push the code to master and fix the new story. These are the project stats. We automated total 12 services and around 500 plus feature files. So we automated tests for 2 brands and 4 channels. And as part of that, we developed 4 RESTful type mock services and 2 SOAP based mock services. The dev versus QA team ratio in this project was 2:1. Now I am going to demonstrate the test automation. I have chosen these 3 components. First is product service, is a RESTful service, and it is used to create the product information via post call and update the product information via put call, and it uh, retrieve and delete the product information via get and delete call. This product service integrated with universal product code service, which is a SOAP based service. So I'm going to demonstrate the SOAP request and response test automation for this service as well. And the product service is integrated with the EMS system. So to test the contract of the EMS with the product service, I'm going to demonstrate the producer and consumer functionality of EMS. So you can see this is a JBehav feature file, which is which is which is going to test the create, update, get and delete functionality of the service. And I have written a positive scenario, like given when I'm connected with the service and my payload is payload is ready. So when I send the post request to service, then I expect a creation status code from service response, and then I verify the service response against the sent payload. And then again I'm making a get call and verifying the response, and then updating the product record via put call and updating and verifying the response. And I also have written a negative scenario to test that the service should not be able to create the product information if the payload has a duplicate information, or the service path is incorrect. So I have written 2 negative scenarios around it, and this is my Java file, which is mapped mapped with the test steps of my story file. And here, now let me run this file and so the execution. So the execution is completed, and you can see the JUnit results here. And these results show the execution of each and every scenario with their uh, with their steps, with the passing with, with with their steps, each and every step result. And after the execution, this is the test report, JBF test report file, which is generated after execution, and it has the detailed uh, test results of each and every scenario with their steps. Now let me show you the Jenkins test result trends. You can see from this test result trend chart, we have 100% success test result in this web service test automation. And now let me show you the SOAP service function test, which is this is the this is the test which is testing the integration of the SOAP service with product service. So let me run this file as well. So this is the request response validation from the SOAP service. I have executed two scenarios and verifying the results which is coming from the SOAP service. Then there is another test file which I have written for testing of EMS systems. File, I'm sending a payload on the JMS queue and verifying whether the message is delivered to the queue or not. So I'm running the EMS server on my local machine. So this is my queue com.gspan.demo.test, which is highlighted in blue currently. So on this queue, I'm sending message and verifying whether the message is delivered to the queue or not. So let me run the demo and show the status of this queue again.